What's up, Libra? This is Jesse with 44 Astro with a super new moon solar eclipse general tarot reading. It's for the solar eclipse new moon coming up on April 8th, 2024. It's going to be at 2:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be at 19 degrees Aries, which puts you in the second mansion of the moon. I'll put the second mansion up so you can read about it. It's a good time for ask for a raise if you want one for your job. It's about overcoming conflict. Oh, there's your card already. That type of thing. This eclipse is really special. There are quite a few astrological things going on, and I'm going to break it down a bit. Time for healing. And this is a time for healing. Okay, so what's a solar eclipse, right? It's when the moon blocks the sun. The light of the sun is blocked by the moon for a short period of time. This is the equivalent of the resurrection, or the death and resurrection of the light, the Son of God, or the Christ light being reborn. Think of the moon is our unconscious dark aspects. It's also our mind, right? And the sun is our outer world, our destiny, our ego. What the solar eclipse does, it gives us a shortcut. And in the tantric and Hindu traditions, there can be great spiritual growth exponentially fast during eclipses. This is because you're getting basically the entire aspect of a year, which is like during the winter you get the death, and then in the spring you get Easter, which is a Christian holiday. You get the resurrection of Christ during spring when stuff starts growing again. There's a reason it takes place during that time of year. But the eclipse, this celestial event happening, is happening quickly in a single day. So great growth can happen very quickly at this time. The sun and the moon are exactly conjunct at 19 degrees Aries. On top of that, the asteroid Chiron, a lot don't know about Chiron or what Chiron is also conjunct them at exactly 19 degrees Aries. So this is a zero orb, which means that it's perfect aspect. They're sitting directly on top of each other, the sun, the moon, and Chiron. What is Chiron in astrology? Chiron is the wounded healer. Okay? The story of Chiron is a centaur that was a great healer and teacher. He taught Hercules. He taught Ophiuchus how to heal so well that Ophiuchus was making people immortal. Hades was very upset with this and went to Zeus and told him how he was messing up the way things were supposed to work. So Zeus struck Ophiuchus down. He was put up in the sky, in the stars. That's the 13th sign of the zodiac. People talk about that dark spot in between Scorpio and Sagittarius, where all my planets are. And it basically represents an individual that has experienced something like a sickness or something very bad and is able to heal it, and then can also help heal others or outgrow it and help others outgrow their sickness. Looks like there's some kind of argument going on in your life. So this is a great time to practice spirituality. Whatever your version of spirituality is, meditation, fasting, it's a great time to do it. You can grow by leaps and bounds during eclipse. And because Chiron is there, so let me explain more about Chiron. That was the mythology, what Chiron really is in astrology and what he represents. If it's like conjunct your ascendant or on your sun or something like this, it can actually represent somebody that's chronically sick, especially if it's prominent in your chart. But it can also represent, like I said, something that you've healed that you can help others and show the world. But it can also, on a mundane level, represent someone that's a hypochondriac, only eats organic food, won't go out in the sunlight, without like massive amounts of sunscreen on, like an individual that's very scared of sickness. But what Chiron really is, and why Chiron is represented as a key. Chiron is a key in astrology, a symbol. It's the rainbow bridge. Its orbit is in between Saturn and Uranus, right? Saturn on end, because those planets move fairly regularly. Saturn being the slowest at around 27 to 31 years around the sun in orbit. And all the other ones from in are less, right? Jupiter's like 12 years, and then it gets less as you go in. That represents the individual psyche and the individual attributes of an individual in astrology. Because there's so much movement, there's a lot of nuance. So you're going to get a lot of different variations. So that's why it's the representative of the individual, the material, the mundane. When you get to the outer planets, Uranus on out, they move much slower and they affect entire generations. So they're considered the spiritual, the collective, the sacred. So that is the bridge between them. Chiron is the bridge. That's what's called the rainbow bridge. It's the bridge between the guardian on the threshold, which is Saturn or Satan, to the outer spiritual experiences of the collective, or of humanity, your spiritual side, because the spiritual side doesn't have boundaries, right? That's like Neptune. All Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto kind of represent is all a collective thing, and it's more of a no boundaries type of situation that affects everyone, because it's generational, because they move so slow, and that's also how the spirit within us is represented. There's no boundaries there. So with this eclipse and with that rainbow bridge there, we have the connection, not just with the eclipse, connecting our solar outer attributes with our lunar inner attributes, our unconscious, connecting them, which is what enlightenment is opening yourself up to the unconscious and start understanding the symbolism, seeing the synchronicities and the serendipitous events around you. That's what the unconscious is. That's how it speaks. And once that's open, and that's what this solar eclipse represents. It's the death and the rebirth. And that's why you see the Christ story, the Osiris story, the white Buddha, Zarathustra, Quetzalcoatl. This stories of rebirth constantly throughout all human history. It's not just the Christian story. It's all throughout history of humanity, all epochs. It's the death and the rebirth. That's what it always talks about. That's what the alchemy is, right? And we have a chance for it right now because the sun's going to be blocked out. We're going to have to focus on our darkness, on the unconscious attributes of ourself. We're going to be forced to look at it while the sun is blocked. And hopefully it will wake us up to that, and we can use that, especially with the rainbow bridge there, the wounded healer. We can look at our wounds and we can heal from it, and we can link ourselves together and become more whole and complete and grow. So this is a powerful celestial event. It's a super moon, which means it's as close as the moon's going to get to the orbit. It's elliptical orbit. The elliptical orbit is kind of an oval, so on the outer edges, it's further out. It's closer when it's on the middle area. So it's as close as it can get right now. That's why it's a super new moon. The sun is in the second decan of Aries. So there are 3 decans in every single zodiac sign because there's 30 degrees. I use the Western system. First 10 degrees is 1 decan. Second 10 degrees, second decan. Third 10 degrees is third decan. The second decan of Aries, and the sun is already exalted in Aries. The second decan is ruled by the sun. So the sun is also in a very powerful position, exalted and in a decan that he rules while this is occurring. And the moon is as close as it's going to get. And on a Monday, which is Moon's Day. That's what Monday's named for. So this is a very powerful celestial event. It's also probably going to wake up some stuff in our world, right? It's in Aries. Aries is the god of war. Mars rules Aries. They rule war. There are scary wars going on in our world right now. Palestine, Ukraine. My guess is there's going to be a light shined on that darkness. It's going to be shown to us. And either we're going to find a resolution, because that's what the wounded healer will do, or we're going to see how sick it really is, and it may expand. It just depends. That's why people are so scared of this solar eclipse. If you really understand the astrology, these types of things can happen, especially with it in Aries. But it's also a great time for personal growth, linking the unconscious. And the mansion of the moon is all about confidence and overcoming conflict. We're going to be forced to see our conflict, right? And if you are a Libra ascendant only, you're talking your 6th or 7th house. That's the house of personal health. You may discover a sickness or something in yourself that has to be healed. Or you do heal a sickness in yourself, like a physical ailment, like a lower back pain, something. You find a way to heal it. That can happen. Your 7th house is the house of your spouse, or like your one-on-one relationships. You could find there's something there that has to be healed, or something does get healed in that aspect of your life. But that's if you're a Libra ascendant. You need to know your ascendant to really know what house these transits affect. And you need to know the time you were born to be able to do that. You should look at my video on how to look up your natal chart, because the ascendant changes every 2 hours approximately. So there's always going to be a lot of variation in it. Okay, with all that being said, hopefully you understand the astrology and what solar eclipses are all about, especially this one. With that being said, Libra, it's a time for healing. Chiron, right? Can't make this up. Y'all saw me shuffle. The card popped out. Believe what you will. This looks like emotional healing for you. Or it's about a water sign that stabbed you in the back, or that you feel betrayed you in some way. Or maybe your emotions or you feel like are betraying you, right? Maybe you're overly emotional about some situation. I can already tell you that I see 2 10s here. 10s are about completion. So something new can be happening. You could be being shown something. This could have to be doing with money. You maybe feel you were backstabbed with money. right? It's a time for healing. It could be healing of your money. It looks like it's definitely with a water sign. You could be cusp Scorpio, right? Or you have a lot of water in your chart, but it looks like it was a water sign male because there's a knight and a king. Could be female too. It's going to be different because it's a general reading. Behind you, you felt blocked. Recently, you felt blocked. And you may have felt blocked in the aspect of money. But the conscious influence is money. So there's some kind of money that's probably going to help you. Something like inheritance or some kind of gift of money. I don't know. There's all kinds of ways you can get money, right? You may win some money. You may get a new job offer that pays you a bunch of money. All those types of things. The unconscious influence is victory, moving forward fearlessly. The Chariot. It could be a healing. It could be a healing of whoever this water sign is. They have back issues, and it's healed. And it could be you, and you're healing your back issues, right? So it's going to be different for different Libras. Somebody could have stabbed you in the back. Could have been a water sign, and you're going to move forward and be victorious in this situation. And it's going to heal. It's going to heal. Either you're going to get back together, or you're going to forgive them, or they're going to forgive you, or whatever. And it's going to get hashed out. Or someone actually physically had back pain, or some kind of back injury, and then it's healing. And it could be a water sign. Okay. But the influences for whatever this healing is very good. It could be an injury that like a lawsuit happened because of the injury. That's why the money is crowning it, right? It could be got hurt at work. You get a lawsuit out of it or something like that, or some kind of disability payment from the government, anything like that. But it's going to go in your favor either way. And if it's like a relationship that someone backstabbed you, friendship at work, anything like that, you're going to turn out victorious because you're in the right. It looks like it's around a water sign, though. Unless, of course, like I said, you're cusp Scorpio or have Pisces, a lot of Pisces in your chart or Cancer. Like the bottom card was an argument. Some squabbling was going on. You right now, I would say that, this card's associated with Taurus, but, it's a Venus card, and you are a Venus sign, Libra. So this is definitely you. This is you right now. You may have a lot of money, right? It looks like there's a lot of money or abundance around you right now. Even though there's a healing going on, somehow you're getting paid. Like I said, it could be a lawsuit or something. Somebody got injured and you're getting paid for it. Whatever this situation is, you're coming out with money because of it. All right, a new project's emerging. This is abundance. So is the Ten of Pentacles. So it's a lot of abundance around you. Even though you either felt like you were stabbed in the back or you had an injury or this individual that is around you had this injury, you're getting paid for it. It could be like your spouse, right? Somebody tried to screw you over in some way. Maybe you got back at them and got your money out of it, like extra. Great transformation right now. This is in your environment. This is a big transformation in your life. I think there's going to be a lot of transformation for all of us with this eclipse, to be fair, if you are spiritually inclined specifically. And if you're watching my videos, you probably are. I would almost guarantee it. So there's some kind of transformation. There could be some kind of death that occurred too that brought you this abundance. Like, could be an inheritance. I hate to say that, but when you see a person laying dead with a bunch of swords in their back and then see the death card, maybe like you lost a grandparent or a parent or something like that, and then you had an inheritance from it and they were a water sign. Definitely could be the case. Either way, you're receiving some kind of something very valuable out of this. Could be inheriting a house, because this can represent like the home, but somehow it's going to benefit you in some way. It sucks to benefit in that way, but it's just kind of the way it goes sometimes. That's life. Life and death are inseparable. But it could be a transformation. Like you hashed out whatever this betrayal was or what you felt was, and there's a transformation in the relationship, which is a good thing. The advice: be confident. Be confident. Step up. Stand up for yourself. Don't back down. Jenkins, lay down, baby. It's my dog walking around huffing. The outcome is celebration. So whatever the situation is, it's going to work out. It may start out like this, but it's going to end up like this. So it's a great celebration going to come from it. So you're winning in this situation. Some kind of healing is happening. Like I said, if somebody got injured and you got a suit out of it, or somebody passed and you got an inheritance, time heals all wounds in one way or the other. It just depends on you to be able to like shine the light on it and work through it and actually feel it and acknowledge it. Because if you can do that, it doesn't hold the same power. It won't need to be forced up to make you feel it. Events won't occur around you randomly trying to get you to feel it if you feel it when you need to feel it. That way you can grow. I don't like the word healing as much. I do say it a lot, but I prefer growth, outgrowing, because that's what we do. We become more complete. Whatever needs to be healed teaches us something about ourselves, and we grow because of it. And that's really what healing is growth. But yeah, time for healing. You got this nasty card in the middle here, but every other card is good. I mean, this is in the recent past, so there was some kind of confusion around whatever this was, this situation that somebody got hurt or betrayed you. But now the truth is out, and it's going to benefit you. And like your life is going to take off in a very positive direction either way. Okay, Libra, with that being said, please consider liking, subscribing, and commenting. You don't have to if you don't want to. But I'm really low on watch hours. I've been working really hard on this channel. I know the liking, subscribing, and commenting really isn't helping the watch hours. I mean, watching helps the watch hours. But if you like, subscribe, and comment, they're going to push the videos more, and it's going to get watched more, and therefore get more watch hours. Because that's really the only thing I'm lacking before I can get it monetized, and then I'll actually really put some heavy time into it because it's actually showing some results. You know what I mean? I'm going to do it anyway. It's probably just going to be a lot slower pace because I got to work and do other things too. You know, I'm always busy. And it's tough for me sometimes to fit these in, but I always make sure I do because I don't want to leave anybody hanging. Okay, Libra. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I'm grateful that you're here. Happy solar eclipse, and I hope I gave you some clarity on the eclipse, and I hope it kind of helps you understand what's going on. Bye.